Okay, what does Uncut Gems, the movie, starring Adam Sandler, tell us about Israel? So, in Uncut Gems, now if you read the plot of the story on IMDb, that is so not what the movie is about to be. And it's a very difficult movie to watch because the filmmakers try and do a lot of cutesy stuff with audio and with sound and visuals, and they take away, but the story at its core is amazing. An amazing story. And it's also amazing because I feel it's a story I can definitely relate to in my 60s, but the filmmakers are much younger. So what it shows to me is that these sort of like Jewish ideas, these Jewish concepts of what it means to be Jewish, or like the Jewish temperament or the personality or the mindset, that mindset is something that's sort of persistent over generations. But who knows, maybe I'm making that up. Anyway, spoiler alert, yeah, I mean, this is a spoiler for the movie. Now, I bet many of you haven't seen Uncut Gems, and if you try and watch it, you'll be like, I can't take it and not watch it. So I do feel like after this video, you're really going to want to watch it, but I'm going to take away some of it from you. But I don't really think it takes away too much. But anyway, spoiler alert. If you want to go see the movie first, go see the movie before you watch this. Alright, so the movie begins where these Africans or Jewish Ethiopians, whatever, find these uncut gems in this mine. And Adam Sandler, who is a Jewish gem dealer in New York on like the 49th Street or 47th Street, I forget what street it's on, gets a hold of these uncut gems and sees it's a great deal because he can sell them for a lot of money. Now right there's so much to say here, because a lot of Israel's wealth is based on minerals, on diamonds and stuff like this. And it's, again, so much of this stuff is going to be offensive. But, some would say that basically Jews in the diamond business and the gem business are all corrupt, like you cannot believe. They'd all steal if they could. And but anyway, they have these relationships with these mines and whatever, and they make this money with these gems. So Adam Sandler right away, he's basically, it's what he's doing is illegal with these gems. They're not blood diamonds, but he's like circumventing certain things. And again, so anyway, it just even starts with that, where there's these blacks in these mines, and he smuggles out these gems that are worth a lot more, because the black miners, don't know how much they're worth, obviously. So there's that aspect right there, it just starts it. But again, it does tie into Israel. And again, they didn't make this movie thinking about Israel whatsoever, but I think it's a little bit in their back of the head. Again, the whole Jewish jewelry trade, both, again, in Israel, in the U.S. on 49th Street, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Adam Sandler gets these gems, and then Kevin Garnett walks into his store and sees them and really wants to buy them. Now this is where the movie really, like, if you're Jewish of a certain type, you just totally key into this. And I'm just going to use Jews loosely. Don't take this badly. I'm not saying it negative. Again, my father's Jewish. So if you're Jewish, you love basketball. And the reason you love basketball is it's both an individual game and a team game. And it's a balance between the individual's abilities and mindset, and the team's needs to work as a team. So Jews love to play basketball. They love to follow basketball. Most Jewish guys I know, again, when I was growing up, loved basketball. We weren't good at it. It had nothing to do with being good at it. I don't know if there's any Jewish NBA players ever, right? But it was just the love of the game, of the whole idea of the game. So again, it keys into this whole thing of Jews loving basketball because it's such a marriage of skill, of your wits, of individualism, being teammates, stuff like that. It's not like just a brutish game, which I think many would view football, American football. Or like a dull game, like not using your wits, like baseball. Like baseball is just sort of like for knuckleheads, right? So, all right. So he he gets the Kevin Garnett wants this to buy these gems, and Adam Sandler has them, and one of the people that he owes money to, because he's a gambling addict, and this is what's very important, that Adam Sandler is a gambler, and that's very much part of the Jewish psyche. Not specifically gambling, but specifically that you can use your head to figure things out and beat the odds and win. Like you can win with your head. And basketball, again, like I said, it's a meritocracy. So Jews love the whole meritocracy of basketball. So to Adam Sandler, he's like, okay, well, here's basketball, and I understand basketball, and I can use my brain, and I can figure it out, like how to win. How to win by betting, not playing, but by betting, right? It's like, I'm going to figure out how to win by bet. That's why he's like into gambling, because he's using his head always to gamble. But he owes a lot of money to a loan shark who's played by Eric Bogosian, who's his brother-in-law, right? So Eric Bogosian is another type of Jew. He's the Jew that doesn't think he's super smart, but wants to fit in. Has hired these two goyim thugs, right? These two like total white milquetoast thugs, and he does his loan sharking. So he gets status. So he's a Jew looking for status. Sandler is a Jew looking to prove how smart he is to everyone, right? They're both doing it through money, but in different ways, right? So Eric Bogosian, wants his money back from Sandler. Sandler gets the ring from Kevin Garnett, who's a black basketball player. Now, again, this is another irony, right? Like, Kevin Garnett doesn't know in the beginning that he's looking at these gems that Adam Sandler suckered these other blacks to give him from Africa, right? So it's just dripping with all this stuff in this movie. Though again, they ruin it. But anyway, so Eric Bogosian wants his status, and he has these two white goy, guards, and all they want to do is do their job. They're just like the old American white factory worker or longshoreman or whatever. Like they just want to show up, do their job, get paid, go to the local bar and get wasted. That's their life, okay? And, they want to feel like some respect, too. And this is very key to the movie. Anyway, so it goes back and forth, all this stuff, stopping these bets and whatever. But the main theme of the movie, to me, is that it's about like a sort of like a Jewish inability to read the room. So Adam Sandler is so obsessed, so focused on trying to win these bets with basketball, right? So anyway, he's trying to do this. He's trying to get the money. He's juggling all these debts. He's juggling, his brother-in-law with the two, tough guys that beat him up during the movie. And anyway, so at the end, he and again, this is a big spoiler. So maybe if you want, you can just stop right here and go a few minutes. So at the end, he has this big bet. He finagles a way to get this woman to go out to place a big bet. Now, if he wins this bet, he can pay all his debts. He can win. Now, again, he didn't have to get all his debt, but again, this is all a function of his trying to beat the system. Is trying to use his Jewish intellect. Though again, it's not the way he sees it. He's not like, oh, I'm a Jewish intellect. It's not like that at all. But you can relate to him as a Jew, I think. So he's trying to use his intellect to beat everything, right? And so he places this bet, right? But he has to wait because his brother-in-law and his two goons have come to get him. So what he does is he locks them in a room. So Eric Bogosian, his brother-in-law, the Jew who wants status, the loan shark, right, is sitting in this room with his two thugs, right? And they really want to get at, Adam Sandler, because now they put him in this room and there's nothing they can do. But Adam Sandler is outside the room thinking, if I win this, I win it. Like, that's it. I'm going to win. That's all he sees is his brain, his intellect is going to win everything if he wins this bet in this basketball game. So when the basketball game ends, he wins. Adam Sandler wins. He's like ecstatic, like he has beat the system. So in his head, he expects like, okay, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to let my brother-in-law out, the loan shark with his two goons. I'm going to pay off the money, and everything is going to be great. And this is how Jews are about Israel. Like they literally think like, oh, if we just beat all these poor Arabs, all these Palestinians, if we just kill them all, we've won. If we've used our brain, these fighter jets and these bombs and Mossad, all our intelligence, we use all our intelligence to win this game, this war against, our enemies, that everything will be fine the day after. This is what the movie says. So Eric Bogosian, he comes out of the room with his two goons. And what happens? It's a complete shock, but it's in a sense not a shock. The first thing they do, right, is Adam Sandler is like, I won, like. But the two white guys, the two like goy, they are so furious because they've in a sense been humiliated the whole movie, right? Everything about it is like, go do this, go do that, like, and Adam Sandler keeps getting, escaping from them. And they can't really do anything, right? They really would just want Eric Bogosian to say, hey, just throw him in the river, right? But they're not, right? Because Eric Bogosian is related to him as a Jew, right? So Eric Bogosian, in a sense, and Adam Sandler are playing this cat and mouse the whole game, and it's the goy that are being humiliated the whole time. So when they get out of that being locked behind those closed doors, boom, they just kill Adam Sandler right there. And then and Eric Bogosian complains, like, what are you doing? They kill him too. So, I mean, it's a perfect ending. Because it's what it's saying. It's like, it points out, like no other movie points this out in this way, that Jews underestimate how people feel around them. The non-Jews, as they're going through all this mental freaking intellect stuff, right? All these like schemes, like the Jews are going through all these schemes, they're not reading the room of what's going on. The other people, they're getting humiliated and hurt. And that's what's happening in Israel. Is that it doesn't make a difference if Israel wins all this stuff. At some point the day after, the goy are just going to be, boom, you're dead. Like, Israel, you get nothing. Like, it doesn't make a difference how smart you are. You're 0.2% of the world's population. You're 2% of the U.S. population. You're a country of 10 million in a sea of 600 million Arabs, right? I mean, like, the idea that you think you're going to win this, you're not. Anyway, I just want to say that it's a great movie, but again, I wish they'd redo the movie and take out all their stupid experiments, because the storyline is just fantastic. Again, there's even way more to it than I've even telling you. But that's my read of the story as a half Jew of what it tells about Israel. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you later.